the goddesses of ancient Egypt. Bastet, responsible for joy, music, and dancing. Also health and healing. Bastet, also known as Bast, was the cat goddess, whose cult centered in Bubastis in the region of the Nile Delta. It's small wonder so many dancers are drawn to name their studios after Bastet or acquire artwork featuring her. She was the goddess of joy, music, and dancing. Rituals honoring Bastet included light-hearted barge processions and orgiastic ceremonies. She also protected humans against contagious diseases and evil spirits. Her cult can be traced back to about 3200 BC, and she became a national deity when Bubastis became the capital of Egypt in about 950 BC. One legend said Bastet accompanied the sun god Ra's boat of 1,000,000 years on its daily journey through the sky, and at night she fought Ra's enemy, the serpent Apep. In art, Bastet is depicted as either a cat-headed woman carrying a sistrum and basket, or as a whole cat. Often, in either form, there are kittens at her feet. If you plan to do a portrayal of Bastet, consider wearing a red costume. A priestess of Bastet, like the goddess herself, was known as the Lady with the Red Clothes. Hathor, responsible for music and dancing. Also drunkenness, underworld, women, joy, motherhood, love, light-hearted pleasure, justice. Totemic form, cow. Hathor was the Egyptian mother goddess and goddess of all that is best in women. In her aspect as goddess of music and dancing, her emblem was the sistrum, an ancient musical percussion instrument. All Egyptian women worshipped her, from the queen to the lowliest woman of the land, and she was the protectress of pregnant women. According to a legend, Hathor was the nurse of Horus the Younger, which is why she is often depicted as either a cow or a woman with the head of a cow. Her headdress was a solar disk resting between horns. In the same way, Hathor was said to suckle the pharaoh, the living Horus. The led to identifying the queen with Hathor, so the queen, as chief priestess, led the other priestesses, the concubines of the god, in the dancing and music making which were their part in the temple ritual of Horus and the other gods. As the sun god Ra grew older, he became fearful of his enemies and asked Hathor to help him. She took on the job with a vengeance and turned into Sekhmet, the lioness goddess, and seemed to enjoy the killing. Ra then worried that she would wipe out the entire human race, so he had red dye mixed in ale and spread about the land. Hathor, thinking it was blood, drank it and became so intoxicated that she forgot her assignment and humankind was saved. Pacified by the beer, she resumed her persona as the beautiful Hathor and returned to Ra. Ancient Egyptians believed that the gods guided and directed the natural forces of the mind and body, and each god or goddess was responsible for protecting a particular part of the human body. Hathor was responsible for childbirth. If you plan to do a portrayal of Hathor, here are some suggestions. Wearing jewelry made of the mineral turquoise, particularly if you can find turquoise beads made into the Menet necklace. In the desert regions of Sinai, miners seeking the mineral venerated Hathor, the Lady of Turquoise. Carrying a sistrum, a percussion instrument that become a representative cult object of Hathor, and or an ankh. Wear a horned headdress with a cobra on the front. Nut, responsible for sky and heavens, mother and guardian, demi-animals, immortality, physical prowess. Totemic form, cow. Ra asked Nut to raise him into the heavens to remove him from the world, which he found distasteful. Carrying him on her back, Nut rose upward, but the higher she reached, the dizzier she became. She would have crashed to the ground, if 4 gods had not steadied her legs, and while she held up her belly. These gods became the 4 pillars of the sky, and Nut's body became the firmament, to which Ra attached the stars. Ma'at. Responsible for justice, law and order, immortality, primordial being. Totemic form, feather. Ma'at. Ma'at was the primeval Egyptian goddess of truth and justice. She gave the breath of life to the gods. In funerary scenes and pictures depicting the underworld, the figure of Ma'at or her feather was placed on the opposite side of the scale from the heart of the deceased. If the scale balanced, the deceased was allowed to go on to the afterlife. If not, he was given to Emmet to devour. Thus the red plume of Ma'at itself became a hieroglyph for truth. Those who lived by the laws of Ma'at took a sacramental drink which conferred ritual purity in the same sense as the Christian Holy Communion. Like baptismal water of life, Ma'at's potion brought life after death to the peaceful and law-abiding, but death to violent persons. L.